Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. We are now just entering our second week of school closure here in the UK, and I hope homeschooling is going well for you. You should at this point be well and truly stuck into your homeschooling routines, and I hope that everything has settled down a little bit in your household. So today I have decided that I'm going to go over a few arts and crafts exercises or some fun little games that you can play with your children that's a little bit more light-hearted, that's creative, and you can have a bit of fun with it. So yeah, that's the plan for today. You're not going to need anything crazy. I don't actually have that many supplies in my flat anyway, so you probably actually have more in your houses than I do. So yeah, use what you can, be creative with it, get the glue out, get the glitter out if you've got any, get the paint out, and let's have some fun. Alright guys, let's get stuck into the video. Okay, so the first game that we are going to be playing, the first arts and crafts activity, is going to involve us making paper worms. Now, all you need is a very simple selection of items, of materials that you probably have in your house. The item number one will be a piece of paper or a piece of card. Now, I've just got plain paper here. I don't have any card and I don't have any coloured paper, but obviously if you have any coloured paper you can use that, and if you have card you can use that too. You need a pencil. That could be a plain pencil like the one I've got, a coloured pencil. You could use colouring pens. I would advise not to use glue and glitter and various other bits at this point, and I'll go on to explain that in a little bit. You need a pair of scissors. I just have a pair of kitchen scissors. Obviously if you've got craft scissors or if you've got some child safe scissors, then use those. And if you've got them, you need a straw, but this isn't essential. So all you're going to do is you're going to need to create strips of paper or card that you are then going to fold up to create your worm. Now the game, which you will see me playing in a second, involves you lining your worms up on a line, and then you and whoever you are playing with are going to blow against the worm, and the worm is going to move itself along the table or the surface that you've put it on. Now in order for this to happen, you need to make sure the surface is nice and flat and smooth. A table works perfectly fine. Doing it on the carpet won't work because the worm will have the additional resistance of the carpet, but on a table is perfect. So you're going to find your strips, you're going to cut your strips up. It doesn't really matter how wide they are, although I would say about 1 inch wide is probably the most suitable width for these worms to be at. You're going to cut those strips, and then you are going to fold those strips in about centimetre sections. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're a bit bigger or a bit smaller. You obviously can fold them how you wish, but about 1 centimetre thick is perfect. Once you had folded your worm up in its entirety, and you now have essentially a small square piece of paper that is all nicely folded, you then need to take your scissors and you need to trim the edges so they are smooth. This is going to give your worm its worm-like characteristics rather than just being a square piece of paper. What you're then going to do is you're going to decorate it, okay? Just be a little bit careful that you're not compromising the folds, because these are going to be really important when it comes to playing the game. So you can draw a little face on it if you want to. You can then decorate it. You can put zigzags, patterns, you can colour it, you can do what you want. You can write your name on it if you so wish. Obviously at this point you can allow your children to decorate them however they wish, in whatever colours and fancy things that they want to do. Now, going back to what I said at the beginning, you obviously don't want to be putting glue on this because it will weigh it down, and that will have an effect on how your worm moves. If your children decide they really want to, then I would suggest playing the game with them and then letting them decorate them later, and them just having a worm. But obviously by adding lots of glue and glitter, you're going to make it heavier, which if you are using card isn't going to matter so much because card is structurally a little bit more stable than paper. However, I have never put glue and glitter on my worms in the past, so I would suggest you avoid it. And then once you have your worms, you are ready for your game, your race. This is a worm race. So line your worms up on your flat surface, ideally a table. Get your straws ready if you have them. If you don't, that is fine. And then at the count of 3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. Your objective is to win the race. This is a great little game to play with your children. It is super fun. You can get super competitive with it, and if you want to, you can always have a little prize system whereby the winner gets a little sweet perhaps, or you have like a mini trophy. And again, if you want to, by all means get creative and build a trophy for it, and you can have a little bit of a competition. Very versatile game, super fun and creative and very artistic. Give it a go and let me know how you get on. The second craft that you can do is quite fun, and again you can race these if you want, or you can just turn them into toys. Is get yourself some toilet rolls. I know that's a bit of a cuss word at the moment, it's a bit of a taboo word, toilet roll. But if you get yourself some toilet roll cutouts, if you don't have any, then you can use some kitchen roll cutouts, that's absolutely fine. All you need is one of your toilet rolls. You need a plastic or a wooden stick. I've just got some skewers from the kitchen. Using these, you need to puncture through the toilet roll, okay? And then you need to snap the stick. So what I'm going to do is I reckon that is probably about right. So I'm going to snap the stick like so. And then you're going to use this and you're going to pierce through your toilet roll tube. You might need to use a knife to support you. No, that's gone through nicely, and then the same on the other side, like so. So you have that, and then you need to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to use this stick because it's got the pointy end. Okay, so I'm going to stick this through here like so. Do this for your children, obviously, or support them as they do it, because you don't want them stabbing themselves with a stick. Through the other side, there we go, like so. And then once you've got one side, you can snap another piece of stick, about that, for the other. Just like so. So you have now got your cardboard tube with your two sticks pointing through. The top one of mine is clearly a bit wonky, the bottom one is much better. Obviously try to make them so they are straight. Now you are going to be turning this into a small race car, okay? So you then need to find something circular to stick on the ends. Now I have two items that I can stick on the ends. One of them is a used bottle lid. Get a little bit of glue, you can stick that on the end. Now I don't have enough of these unfortunately, so I'm going to have to use a wine cork. Now I have one of this is from the bottle of wine that I've got. Now, obviously you're not just going to stick that on the end because that is a bit ridiculous, but what you can do is you can cut these into rings, into discs, and then you can pop those on the side as well. Now if you've got sharp ends, like you can see with this one, to your sticks, then that will pierce the cork really well. If you don't and they're flat, then obviously that won't do as well. So then you need to stick those on and you'll end up with wheels. What you can also do once you have done that, or you could probably it's probably better to do it before that, is you can take your sticks back out so that you've just got the holes, and then you can give these to your children to decorate. Now, unlike the first activity, this is where you most definitely can decorate. You can put loads of different glitters and diamonds and whatever else, sequins, diamantes, whatever you've got in your house. You can decorate them again, they can put their names down them, they can paint them, they can really go to town with these. And then what you've got is once everything is put together and you have your wheels on your cars, you have little raceway cars. Now if you want to, and you want to make this a little bit competitive, if you put something over the end to cover one end up, and you put them on a table, again you can blow them, or you can get a hairdryer and you can race each other with these along the table, similar to the worms in the first game. Or you've just created a makeshift car. This is really good because also you're recycling, you're using the materials that you would normally throw in the bin or put in the recycling bin, so this is a really fun way of using the things that you would normally have in your house to do arts and crafts with your children. Give it a go. So as you can see, you can also be creative with toilet roll tubes in a different way. I managed to find 6 toilet roll tubes that I've not done anything with them, but I've stacked them up and I've turned those into bowling pins, screwed up a piece of paper as my ball, and then you have your makeshift game of 10-pin bowling, or 6-pin bowling in my case. This is obviously a really fun way of entertaining your children. My suggestion, and I've not done it again because of lack of resources that I have in my flat, but decorate the pins before you start playing. So get your children to write numbers on them, 1 through to 10, get them to decorate them, get them to create an actual ball rather than screwing up a piece of paper, and then you can play bowling. You know, get a little tally sheet, get a little score sheet going up, put them on a flat surface, or you can do it down your hallway if you've got a large enough space, and then you can all have a game of bowling. And if you want to, you know, make it a little bit more exciting. Actually do a proper game of it. Get some drink, get some popcorn, get some snacks, and pretend that you're going down the bowling alley. I know that it's not the same as actually going to a bowling alley, but with everything shut, this is a really good imaginary way of playing. So yeah, and the way that I look at it is, if you are, as parents, excited and as engaged as the children are, that will make their experience so much better. So if you really, you know, build this up and like, alright guys, we're gonna have a game of bowling, you know, create a little score sheet, the winner gets a prize or something, they will really love it. This is the kind of thing I did when I was a kid. We also used to play bowls with my grandparents. So yeah, have fun with it. Like I say, you can make it really crafty by decorating the pins and actually creating a proper ball, and yeah, let's see who the champion is. And the final piece of crafting that we're going to do today, which considering I've done 2 already involving toilet rolls, I figured I would do a third, and that is, we are going to make a toilet roll bird feeder. Now all you need for your toilet roll bird feeder is very simple. You need a toilet roll. Okay, you need a couple of sticks. You can use the sticks, similar sticks to what you used earlier, or you can go into your garden and you can find some. You are going to place your sticks, one like so, and then you're going to do exactly the same with the other one, but the other one is going to go cross, just like that. So you have a crisscross in the middle, you have 4 sticks sticking out. Now obviously you are going to have, or you will expect birds to hopefully land on this, so just be aware that the longer the sticks are at the side the better, so that the birds can get their feet on it. But considering it's probably only going to be small songbirds that are going to be landing on this, it being an inch to 2 inches is going to be absolutely fine. This is probably on the shorter end of the scale, but birds will probably still be able to use that anyway. Then what you need to do is you need to pierce a hole, 2 holes through the top, 1 on either side, so that you can thread some string through to hang it off. And then in order to actually turn this into a feeder, what you then need is you need some lard. Butter works okay, but I would suggest using lard. And then a mixed seed of some description. Now I've got a general wild bird seed mix. It contains a whole variety of different seeds in there, and according to this, it is suitable for house sparrows, great tits, blue tits, blackbirds, bullfinches, chaffinches, tree sparrows, greenfinches, and robins. So again, a whole variety of small birds. Now these kind of bird feeders are going to be suitable for you if you have a garden, especially if you've got a garden that has lots of trees and bushes in the back, because that's the kind of area that these small songbirds are going to be living. For me, unfortunately, I live in fairly central Gloucester. I live in a block of flats. There aren't that many trees and bushes around, so the only thing that's going to annihilate this is probably a pigeon. Now, there is no real clean way of doing this, so what you need to do is you need to get yourself your lard. You are then going to get your lard, and using your fingers, why not, we're going to smother the outside of our toilet roll tube in lard. And then, simply put, pour some of your seed onto a plate, and then again using your hands, you're going to roll your tube, your toilet roll tube, through the seeds until it's fully covered. So I have pretty much finished my bird feeder now. So I have popped or I say popped, I have smothered some lard around my toilet roll tube, and then I have put seeds on. Obviously, the more lard you put on, the more seeds. I have just put a thin coating, thin layer of lard onto my toilet roll tube, so not that many seeds have stuck, but obviously the more you put on, the more seeds will stick to it. And then it's simply a case of threading some string through, although I'd probably suggest you do that at the beginning. Thread some string through, and then you can hang that in your garden and hope that birds come along and feed on it. Obviously there's no guarantee, but it is there for if they want it. Now, feeding birds is really important. Obviously the lard, the seeds is really good for them, especially in the colder months of the year, and we're kind of just coming into spring now obviously, but it's still very cold, so they should hopefully enjoy this. And if you've got bird feeders already, if you place this by the bird feeders that you've already got, it will really encourage them to come and feed on it. The way that feeding birds works is they obviously need to trust your garden, and they need to know that there's going to be a source of food there. If they don't, then they're obviously not going to come in. But it only takes 1 or 2 birds to come down and feed on one of your feeders to attract others in as well. There you go, homemade bird feeder. So there you go, guys. We have had some fun. We have created some masterpieces, and we are all budding artists and crafters in the making. It's amazing what you can do with some simple items that you probably already have around your house. So get the glue out, get the paint out, get your pens and pencils out, your scissors, and let's have some fun with our crafts. Obviously, for most of these, you needed toilet roll. Like I say, if you get some scissors and you cut some kitchen roll tubes up, they will work perfectly fine. And yeah, really have some fun with it. And obviously, I'm hoping to see some pictures. Alright guys, well, I'm going to wrap the video up now. I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. Have a good one. Bye!